XRP is sitting at 2.64 right now, but let's be real. Everyone's fixated on Bitcoin. It's been grabbing all the headlines, up nearly 100% this year. But let's pause and dig into what's really happening beneath the surface. XRP has skyrocketed 88% this year alone, up 7.81% in just the last 24 hours, 18% over the past week, and 14% for the month. I've been in this space a long time, and let me tell you, every time the market heats up like this, it gets more intense and a whole lot more risky. So if you haven't already, now's the time to make sure your XRP and the rest of your crypto is stored somewhere secure. Personally, I keep a good portion of my crypto with I Trust Capital. They're one of my sponsors, and there's a reason I trust them. They've just rolled out their new premium custody accounts. These are non-IRA accounts that still give you all the top-tier security and features you'd expect from their IRA options, but without any contribution limits. So what sets premium custody apart? They use a closed-loop system, meaning you can deposit and withdraw in US dollars, but your crypto stays locked in, safe from outside threats like hacks or scams. Your assets are held off the company's balance sheet, so they're never touched for business use or lending. It's all about maximum security. You can trade your crypto easily right from their mobile or desktop app, with institutional-grade custody and just a 1% trading fee. Want to check it out? Head over to itrustcapital.com, XRP Army, and use promo code XRP6 to get a $100 funding bonus when you sign up. Go see for yourself. Now let's break this down. The Bitcoin narrative, the big PSLI, is all about BTC hitting yet another all-time high. It's sitting somewhere around 11 to 17K or 118K. Sure, Bitcoin's doubled this year. Yay, applause. But no one wants to mention XRP quietly crushing it with nearly 500% gains.
Funny how that part always gets left out, huh?
You're not really supposed to bring this up, but here we are. Bitcoin Magazine recently highlighted a Bank of America and Ripple partnership alongside a report claiming Bitcoin is the top performing currency this year. But let's decode that for those not falling for the PR swap. The real takeaway, XRP is actually leading the pack as the best performing currency. And just as a reminder, one I've been repeating for years, no matter what XRP's price was doing, no matter how much fear, uncertainty, or doubt was flying around, here's what matters. XRP isn't your average asset, and Ripple isn't just another tech company. XRP is set to be the backbone of the next generation financial system. We've been saying this for 7 years straight, but here comes more of the media spin. Fox Business now says Bitcoin is coiled like a spring. Really? Bitcoin supposedly ready to explode, all while enjoying regulatory clarity that never extended to the rest of the space. That's not a level playing field. Not even close. Now they're hyping up next week in Congress as Crypto Week, claiming that new legislation might finally pass, and with it bring that long overdue fair ground for all digital assets. And just listen to this. One of the analysts says they're eyeing $140,000 for Bitcoin. Yep, that's the call. They're trying not to overhype it, letting the market tell the story. But they're also pointing to charts and saying Bitcoin's wound tight like a spring, ready to pop. Meanwhile, a lot of momentum stocks have already made their moves off the bottom, but the real question is, are we just watching another narrative push, or is the tide finally turning for the entire crypto space? Bitcoin's been grinding steadily within a clear trading range, putting in the work, no doubt. But as mentioned, it's looking ready to break out, potentially playing catch-up with names like Coinbase and Robinhood, which have already returned to their previous highs. A breakout above $110,000, the last major resistance, could push it toward a projected target of $140,000, with room to stretch as high as $170,000. Now let me throw out a prediction. I believe everything we're seeing right now has been carefully timed, held back, waiting for legislation. All this non-stop Bitcoin coverage over the years, I bet once Congress passes real crypto regulation and the playing field is finally level, the narrative flips. Suddenly, you're not just going to be bombarded with Bitcoin charts every time you turn on the news. You're going to start seeing XRP charts and probably a few other top-tier assets. The media spotlight is about to shift, and fast. Bitcoin's sharp move above the 118K mark has officially triggered a risk-on environment across the crypto space. Now, all eyes are on whether major altcoins like Ethereum, Solana, and XRP will catch that same momentum wave and start making big moves of their own. Here's the reality. XRP is carrying more momentum right now. Arthur Hayes, co-founder of BitMEX, is calling for a massive altcoin season on the horizon. And Milky Bull, he says the Altseason summer is just getting ready to launch. The signs are all there. The shift is coming. You can feel the momentum building. Remember when people used to laugh off the idea of Ripple becoming a bank, called it a conspiracy theory? Yeah, well look where we are now. Lately, we've talked about Hidden Road stepping into the scene as a brokerage firm, leveraging the XRP ledger and even using Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin as collateral. And that's now confirmed by CEO Brad Garlinghouse himself. But then out of nowhere, Ripple makes a bold move, filing to become a federally licensed bank through the OCC. That's the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. And just yesterday, news broke about a new pro-crypto head stepping into that exact office. On top of that, Ripple may even pursue a Fed master account. And honestly, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. This is massive. Nothing's finalized yet, but if this actually goes through, the value potential here is absolutely next level. If you seriously think he's not referring to XRP, I've got an igloo to sell you in South Georgia. Now let's talk timing, because everyone's asking how fast can banks actually roll out XRP-based payment systems once regulations are in place. You might be surprised it's not some multi-year project. From what Ripple said, the full onboarding process usually takes about 2 to 3 months from start to finish. That includes a credit review and standard onboarding steps, which are pretty straightforward. Then you've got the technical side, integration, testing, syncing with internal systems, and that typically runs between 1 to 2 months. In fact, the fastest setup they've ever done was just 3 weeks. On the slower end, about 3 months total. Bottom line, it really comes down to how much a bank wants to commit. The faster they move, the faster it goes. And Ripple's team, they're fully ready to help make that happen. There it is. Germany's top-tier banks managing a combined 4.5 trillion in assets are now stepping into crypto. That's a huge move. Oh, and I wanted to show you this too. Later today at 2:30 p.m., John Deaton's going live. Not sure if it's on YouTube or another platform, but wherever it is, you're going to want to catch it. John's locked in. He's not distracted by the noise. And let's be honest, there are a lot of people out there spreading fear and misinformation, especially about what's going on with Lend2. But John, he sticks to facts, and that's what matters. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I've never doubted that I'll get my money back from Lend2. In fact, I believe there's still major upside, and that's really what this conversation is about. The company's new CEO has made it clear the assets are still there. He's publicly stated that Lend2 isn't a scam and that nothing's vanished. What's happening now, based on John's updates, is simply the process of how those assets get realized. So if you're a Lend2 customer or an SPV private equity holder, make sure you tune in today at 2:30. John's going to break down the next steps in the bankruptcy process. Don't miss it. A lot of you have probably received emails inviting you to take part in the creditors committee. I'll break down exactly what that means and what you should know going forward. I'll also explain why I filed a case against the former CEO, what that action actually represents, and how it ties into the bankruptcy process. But here's what I need everyone to hear loud and clear. There are people out there right now actively spreading misinformation, trying to confuse and mislead you on purpose. We're talking about somewhere between $500 million and $2 billion in customer and investor funds. That's your money, not Lend2's corporate cash tied up in this case. And here's the key. We, the people impacted, actually have influence over what happens next. If you know anyone who's a Lend2 customer, make sure they see this. Now listen, I know emotions are high. Many of you, myself included, have serious money tied up in this. Maybe even your entire retirement savings, and the fear is real. But don't let the skeptics and fearmongers in you it's all gone, or that you'll only see pennies on the dollar. That's just not true. If we come together, stay informed, and stay organized, we're going to come out of this in a much better position than most people think.
I'm doing everything I can to help amplify what John's working on because he's absolutely right. This could be huge for the economy, and the ripple effects are going to touch every sector. Also, major news. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene just introduced a bill aimed at eliminating federal capital gains taxes on home sales. If that passes, it would be a game changer. Now I'm heading over to doexrp.com, that's the Patreon community. You can also join directly by clicking the join button under any of my YouTube videos or through X. Over there we're diving deeper into the XRP price action, everything that's unfolding, and where many believe this could be headed. These are exciting times, no doubt about it. And as always, I'm not a financial advisor. This content is for entertainment only. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and stay tuned. We're just getting started.